Hamas, an acronym for Harakat al-Muqawama al-Islamiyya, Islamic Resistance Movement, is a prominent Palestinian political and militant organization that has played a pivotal role in the complex and protracted Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Founded in the late 1980s, Hamas has evolved into a multifaceted entity with a rich and contentious history. This article delves into the origins, development, and key facets of Hamas, aiming to provide a comprehensive understanding of the organization. Origins of Hamas. Hamas emerged as a response to the Israeli occupation of Palestinian territories and the broader political landscape of the Middle East. Its origins can be traced back to the Palestinian branch of the Muslim Brotherhood, a transnational Islamist movement founded in Egypt in 1928. In the 1980s, this branch began gaining traction among Palestinians, primarily in the Gaza Strip and West Bank, as a grassroots movement focused on providing social services and fostering a sense of Palestinian identity. Its founders, most notably Sheikh Ahmed Yassin and Mahmoud al-Zahar, played pivotal roles in shaping Hamas's initial ideology and organizational structure. Hamas's ideology. Hamas's ideology is rooted in Islamist principles, emphasizing the establishment of an Islamic state in historic Palestine while rejecting the legitimacy of Israel. Central to its worldview is the belief that all of Palestine, including modern-day Israel, is an Islamic waqf, or endowment, which cannot be relinquished. Hamas contends that armed resistance is the only viable means of liberating Palestinian land from Israeli control. The organization's charter, written in 1988, lays out its foundational principles, which include the rejection of any negotiations or peace talks with Israel and the commitment to an armed struggle against the Israeli occupation. While Hamas's ideology is deeply rooted in Islam, it also incorporates elements of Palestinian nationalism, making it a potent and complex force in Palestinian politics. Hamas's early activities. During its early years, Hamas primarily focused on social and charitable activities aimed at gaining the support and trust of the Palestinian population. It established schools, hospitals, and social services that filled gaps left by the Palestinian Authority and gained it significant popularity. These efforts allowed Hamas to cultivate a strong grassroots presence and build a loyal following. However, Hamas's dual role as a social service provider and a militant organization created tensions with the Palestinian Authority, which viewed Hamas as a rival. This tension escalated into violence, culminating in the Hamas-led uprising known as the Second Intifada in 2000. Second Intifada and international consequences. The Second Intifada, characterized by a wave of suicide bombings and other attacks, led to widespread destruction and loss of life on both sides of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Hamas was at the forefront of this violent uprising, and its role as a militant organization became increasingly pronounced. This shift resulted in international condemnation and led many countries, including the United States and the European Union, to designate Hamas as a terrorist organization. The rise of Hamas as a militant force during the Second Intifada also significantly altered the political landscape within the Palestinian territories. In 2006, Hamas scored a major electoral victory in the Palestinian legislative elections, taking control of the Palestinian Legislative Council and forming a government. This electoral success posed a challenge to the traditional leadership of the Palestine Liberation Organization, PLO, and its dominant faction, Fatah. Internal Palestinian struggles. Hamas's rise to political power led to a sharp divide between the West Bank, controlled by Fatah, and the Gaza Strip, governed by Hamas. This intra-Palestinian rift escalated into violent confrontations, including the Hamas takeover of Gaza in 2007. The division between these two territories persists to this day, with separate governments and conflicting authorities. The international community, particularly the United States and Israel, viewed Hamas's control of Gaza as a threat to regional stability and continued to isolate the territory economically and politically. This isolation exacerbated the humanitarian crisis in Gaza and further deepened tensions in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Armed conflict and ceasefires. Over the years, Hamas and Israel have engaged in several military confrontations, including the 2008-2009 Gaza War, the 2012 Gaza conflict, and the 2014 Gaza War. These conflicts have resulted in significant loss of life and destruction in Gaza, drawing international criticism and condemnation. Ceasefire agreements have been brokered at various points by regional and international actors, but they have often proven fragile and short-lived. The enduring nature of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, coupled with the underlying issues of territory, refugees, and sovereignty, has made achieving a lasting peace a formidable challenge. Shifts in strategy. In recent years, Hamas has undergone some strategic shifts. While its core ideology remains largely unchanged, it has shown a willingness to engage in political negotiations under certain conditions. For example, it has participated in reconciliation talks with Fatah and agreed to a ceasefire arrangement with Israel, mediated by Egypt and Qatar. These efforts, however, have not resulted in a comprehensive resolution to the conflict. Current status and challenges. As of my last knowledge update in September 2021, Hamas continues to govern Gaza, while the West Bank remains under the control of the Palestinian Authority. The organization's influence, both militarily and politically, has had a profound impact on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict and the broader dynamics of the Middle East. Hamas faces numerous challenges, including the ongoing blockade of Gaza, internal Palestinian divisions, and the need to balance its militant activities with governance responsibilities. Additionally, it remains designated as a terrorist organization by many countries, complicating its international relations. Hamas, with its complex history and ideology, has played a significant role in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Its evolution from a grassroots social service provider to a militant organization and political actor reflects the enduring complexities of the conflict. As the situation continues to evolve, understanding the history and motivations of Hamas remains essential for anyone seeking insights into the ongoing challenges in the Middle East and the quest for a lasting peace in the region.